And just as you thought we were about to start turn 1, we have scout moves. And you're no longer allowed to turbo boost during the scout moves, so that's sad. But, can I steal initiative? I can. And Andy is so very happy. He is just ecstatic. He's so happy to be here. Which is unfortunate because those guys scout moved up to be able to nice setup for first turn. But it goes along. Now, because of first turn stealth, again, anything within 12 inches is, you know, normal. But anything 12 to 24, you get stealth, plus 1 to your cover save. Anything 24 to 36, you get shrouded, which is plus 2 to your cover save. And then anything beyond 36, you can't see / target. And so you cannot shoot it all. And so I was like, maybe I should stay back a bit more with my trucks. Maybe I shouldn't just go attack so much, because then you can move 12, you can disbark another 6, and you can charge another 2d6. And if I call my Waaagh fleet, I can re-roll that distance. So I decided to just move up a bit and see what damage I can do. I left a little gap between my trucks, so the boom gun shoots big shot right through, and it does manage to hit. But it does get a cover save because he is far enough away, and it was only 6+ because he only had stealth. And he made it though. So now all the big shooters start to shoot from the trucks. Just kind of pill away. If you can take out those death copters when you can, because they actually are really annoying later in the game when there's just like 1 or 2 of them, and you don't really want to take a turn shooting at them. You want to shoot at the bigger, more dangerous stuff, but at the same time, with a strength 8 twin linked, it can do some damage and blow up vehicles where you really don't want them to. So I do manage to kill the one, and then the rest of my shots go into the second one. I'm just combining shots of different big shooters just because, well, to save time. And he cannot save, and so he gets 1 more wound. And because I am within 12, I'm close enough, he doesn't get cover saves for that. But he will get a cover save on this if I manage to hit, but scatters 5 inches. Luckily, it doesn't come back and hit my truck. I was about an inch short for that. I do manage to be within 36 inches, barely, of the battle wagons. So 36 inches lengthwise, or maybe diagonally, is pretty far. But again, across the board, not too bad. But I do scatter right off anyways. So just shooting a bit more. And one thing I forget to do is now I actually paid for big shooters on my looted wagons, but I forgot to actually shoot them as snap fire. But anyways, not do too much damage. Turn 1 Andy. Moving up, objective wise, my objective turned out to be a 3, so it's a Skyfire Nexus. So any troop choice or something that can choose in this scenario, only troop choices can control objectives. They can shoot as Skyfire if they choose to, one or the other. And his is just a normal objective. So that was just discovering the river. So the monstrous creature jumped into the river, and it turned out to be Daemon Bile. And so any Psyker that passes through it loses D3 warp charge points, which is basically D3 psychic abilities that turn, only for that turn. And so if you could normally cast 3, or it just reduced by D3. And so since we both have weird boys, our weird boys do not want to go in there, because then we'll lose our only attack, only ability, which might be good or bad, who knows. Continue to move on. Shooting phase, the weird boy makes his psychic power test and rolls a 2, which is a frazzle, and he shoots, but he fails to penetrate. Just barely. You need a 4 to glance. Continue shooting on. Shock attack actually shoots at the battle wagon, but rolls a double 3, so it's resolved against the closest, and then it scatters, so it still hits a couple trucks, and he is able to hit a few, but fails to penetrate with the one and the other. But now the Ludas actually can't shoot. Oh, and I do get a 4+ cover save because they're so far away, plus the custom force still gives a 5+. And the Ludas unfortunately have to target the same thing as a shock attack gun, so they couldn't hurt the 14 armor of the front. So big shooters actually off the battle wagons decide to snapshot, and he manages to penetrate against my truck, and I fail my cover save, and he rolls in his +1, so it's a 6, and he explodes. So on the ramshackle chart, I just wreck. So, ramshackle, and then I pile out. Now, I pile out the full 6 inches. I read later that you can only do 3 inches when a vehicle is wrecked. So you can only pop out 3, but you can move a little bit at least, compared to just being, so actually it's very similar because you have to be just within 2 inches, so you get a little bit of extra movement. Next, all the Death Copter shooting at my guys, and he managed to hit with 1, but continuing on, he actually failed. He needed 3 to glance, and he rolls a 2. So continue to try, Andy's trying his hardest, and rolling and shooting. The crack missile shoots the blast off those squigoths, which are, I think, so snazzy, but keeps on, everything just keeps on failing him. He does shoot with a couple of shooters, or no, those were a couple snapshot rockets. And so the one hits, but I keep on making my cover saves. So all the guys inside, all shooting their pistols, just the boys squad in there, because it's open top, like all can shoot. Deals a few wounds, I have 5+ cover, and I make 2, so only 1 dies. And again, take off the closest. So end of turn 1, not too much has happened. We had a few casualties on both sides, just everyone's kind of moving up. Turn 2 is where we get to roll for reserves. I have outflanking Weird Boy with his boys, and a bunch of planes, and so there's the line. We're gonna see how much damage Orks can do to each other. Turn 2 is always the biggest turn for Orks. Turn 2 and 3 is where the most damage always happens. So stay tuned and have fun.